Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss about the workflow. So first of all, workflow is a series of steps. Okay, workflow is nothing but the series of steps and that are executed in a specific order. That means consider here now this is the step. What we have a collections of steps. Workflow is nothing but the collections of steps and where we can add the steps. So like consider here we have a first step. Okay, here we have a second step and after that here I have a third step. All these steps we will add inside the workflow model. We knows that model basically we use for defining a data types, right? Only the data type will define. In the content fragment model also we have, for creating a content fragment we have a content fragment model, right? Is it no? For creating a page we have a editable template, so this is also one types of model only. Okay, we have a, for everything we have a model, just like here as well. So if you want to add the steps, so these steps we are adding inside the workflow model. So what is this workflow model? Okay, and here we have a steps. So these steps have a two types. It may be out of the box step or it may be a customized steps. That means you can create your own step. Okay, we don't know when we need, okay, what we need. Okay, so depends on your requirement. So here we have a customized steps. Okay, we can create a customized steps and we can create a out of the box steps as well. Okay, so first upon here we have a participant step. Okay, participant step. That means now you are creating a workflow. Firstly we need to know what does it mean by the workflow, right? So workflow is a series of steps and each steps, see, workflow is a series of steps and each steps performing some individual task. Like why we are creating these steps, so these steps it has performing some individual task, right? So maybe now you have a user one, right? And this is the user one trying to send something to the user two, right? So this is the user one I have, and user one is trying to send to the user two. But before that, he wants to approve from the manager, right? So manager is nothing but one types of human only, right? So if you need like whatever the task you are performing, okay, and you are sending this task to the user too, but before that you are thinking like we have to share to the manager as well. We have to take the improve approval from the manager. So you can create a participant step. So here we need a human interactions, right? We need a human interaction. So this is the user one. Before sending to the user 2, you can just simply here you have to use the participant step, right? Got it? After that we have a container step as well. Container step, that means what we can say, now here we have a workflow model 2 and this is workflow model 1. Now this is the workflow model, you want to use it inside the workflow model 1, then you can simply go with this container step. Yeah, after that here we have a decision step as well. We have a decision step, decision making steps. Okay, here we'll perform the and operator and after that or operator. So maybe some scenarios you have inside that you want to perform the add operator and operators. So maybe here you have a these decision steps. Okay, once it will execute, you want to execute left hand side, once it will right, then you want to execute this one. So maybe based on the condition you want to execute, so in that case you can simply use this decision, right? And at the last here we have a customized steps. What is this customized? So you can see it's a process step. Okay, process step, and this is important. This process step is too important. Why? Because of the, with the help of this process step only we can create a customized steps, right? Again I'm just telling, here we have a out of the box, right? If you want to add here customize any customized steps you want to add and you want to add some logic there, so you have to take the help from the process step. Inside that only you can add the process customized steps. Okay, or with the help of this process step only you can create, right? Got it? Now this one is okay, but we can't say this is our workflow, right? After that, we have firstly we have created the workflow model. There we have added the steps. After that, these are the steps we have. After that, we have to trigger this. Still now we have created a workflow model, but we haven't triggered it. For triggering a workflow model, we have a three ways. So first one, by using a manually you have to trigger it manually. Second one, we have a launcher. Through the launcher you can trigger it. In the launcher there is no need of the human, automatically it will perform. Okay, you just simply have to set, that's it. After that it will automatically perform. But in the manually you have to perform, there we have a button. Okay, you have to go there and you have to perform it, I'll tell you. And after that, at the last, by using a API and the code, that means through the code only, programmatically also you can execute this launcher, this workflow model. Okay, now the thing is, once you will create, where it will store. Okay, once you will create, where it will store. So this is the model, this is the workflow model. It will store inside the conf folder. First one, where it will store, inside the conf folder we have a global, there it will store. Okay, this is what initially it will store, right? It will store initially, but at the runtime it will store inside your var folder. Here we have a var, and inside this var you have a workflow. In this workflow you will get, inside this workflow you will get the models. There you will see all your models, right? Yeah, so basically this workflow will store all your runtime workflows. Got it? So all your steps, that means here we have a steps, no? See, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all these steps where it will store inside your var, because this is the runtime. Okay, got it? After that, after that, now what is the thing we need? First of all, we have created a model. In the workflow model, there is two things important only. See, firstly, what we have created, workflow model we have created, right? After that, where you want to perform, that two things is too important. Okay, this workflow model we have created. Now where you want to perform, so it may be a page, it may be anything. Okay, there you want to perform the workflow, right? So you can consider this is nothing but your payload, or you can say indirectly we can say it's a path. Okay, but workflow specially called payload. Okay, it is called as a payload. Now just go there. Here we have, now just come here in your home page. After that, here we have options of the tools. Here you will see the workflow, right? This is the workflow we have. Inside this workflow you will see here workflow model. Okay, all this workflow, where we will, workflow model where we will create inside this tool. Yeah, inside this model. After that, instances is there. So how many instances it has created and running on, that means how many instances of the workflow right now is running on. Okay, so it will show inside this instances, right? After that, here we have a launchers. Okay, for triggering workflow we have a three ways, right? First one, by using a manual, launcher, and program. Yeah, API and the code. So launcher we create here. Launcher, that means automatically all the things we have to define and it will automatically execute, that's it. After that, here we have a archive or archive. Okay, so basically all your successful workflow will store inside this archive tool. And after that, last one is a failure. So all your failed workflows you will see inside this failures, right? Now our time is to create a workflow model, then only you can execute, right? So here you can come, and after that you have to define create and create a model. Okay, here you can define the name. So uh, page version creation. Okay, this is the name I have defined it. Version spelling, I think so it's wrong. Thanks. Okay, so here we have created. Yeah, so this is the thing we have created, right? After that, you can simply open this, and here we have options of manually you can trigger your workflow. So once you will say start the workflow, this is nothing but the manual, right? This is what manually, and we knows that we need only two things for triggering the workflow. First one, workflow model and payload. See, so we have selected the workflow model, and now here it is saying payload, that's it. But we are not running now, we are just try to open it. We have created, right? Workflow model we have, this is the thing we have created. Now come inside the crxd, and here you see I have already told you it will create, it will store in two folders, conf, and after that here we have a global, just try to refresh it. Settings we have, here we have workflow, and you will see your workflow models. See, this is the yeah, page version creation we have created. Okay, this thing is done now. So this is indirectly we can see it's a page. Okay, this is what page, all this information where it will store inside this. Okay, by using this template it has created the workflow model. See, here we have this libs cq workflow templates and the model. By using that only they have created our workflow model. That's why you are seeing this three. Okay, inside this template, so inside this we have this flow start, flow end, and this one step one. So all these things it has created by using this resource type only, by using this template. Okay, got it? That's nice. And this is a page, this is the component for it. Okay, here we have a flows. Okay, it's not important. Here our actual code where it has stored, here you see, you are seeing here step one, this is the step one. Here we have a this flow start, flow end, these are nothing but the steps only, and here we have a participant step, right? These are the three, but when you will come here you won't see. So where it has stored, inside the var only. You have to come inside the var, you will see here workflow at the end, and after the workflow we have a model. Okay, all your instances you will see inside this workflow you will see your instances. So these are your instances that you have created. Okay, yeah, so here we have a model. Now what's the name of our model? With page version creation, this is the thing. Yeah, this one we have created. After that, here you see this is the metadata, right? This is the metadata, that means information related to your workflow. Okay, information related to your workflow. After that, here we have a notes, that means here you see inside the notes we have a steps, right? So these steps you will see here, node 0, node 1, and node 2. So in the node 0 what we have a start. This is the type, that is start, and this one is your title, start. After that, in the node 2 we have a end, right? End, and this one is your node 1. So whatever you will write the information, this information will store inside. If you are writing the information in the node 1, this information will store inside your metadata. Okay, nice. After that, that is nice. Okay, it has stored in two places. After that, what I am doing here, I just simply deleting this creation. Okay, this is the step I have deleted. Okay, and here you see it becomes white. I am not clicking here. Now we have delete, right? Here, this is the version. No, we have deleted. Now I'm just refreshing. Still, you will see we have a node 1 here. I have refreshed, but still we have a node 1. So keep in mind, if you want to store in the runtime whatever the changes you are making inside your workflow model, and after that you want the changes to be reflected in your var folder, in your runtime directory or storage, then you have to click on this sync. Okay, then it becomes green something. Yeah, now you can go there, and again you can try to refresh it here, node, and refresh it. See, now you will get only node 0 and the node 1. That means we can say we have a node, yeah, start and the end. Here they have provided one parses component. That means you can add more than one steps. Okay, so you can just add a customized steps or the out of the box. But I'm going with the out of the box only. Okay, just for the example, we are seeing a page creation, version creation. Okay, okay, so here they have already defined everything. They have already defined the code for this version creation. Okay, so whenever we are using here, now we knows that we have to sync it, right? We have sync and add the information here. Just define the name, that's it. This is an important. Okay, and here we have a argument. That's it. We don't need anything. Create version, that is also okay, and just done. Okay, and sync it. Now what we have done here is we have created a workflow model, simple workflow model we have created. Now time is to trigger. So firstly we'll see manually. Okay, and we know two things we need. First one, workflow model, and second one, payload. Now workflow model we have created. Now time is to see the payload. Come here, here also we have options, and after that you can manually trigger from here. Start the workflow and select the payload. That's it. Come here and select the payload. Now what we have, content. search US, and I'm just performing to this EN. And inside this EN, if I try to create anything, then this page version will create, right? That's it. If you want, you can define the comment, then it will store in the metadata. Save the changes. Save the changes. Open your site now. It has performed. Okay, no? It has performed. We have trigger it. Now time is to come here. We have a EN. Inside this EN, here we have options, that is timeline. Okay. So here you see it as saying like new version it has created a few seconds ago. That means our workflow it has triggered successfully, right? It has triggered, no? So manually it's done. What we have done, simply we went to the workflow. Here we have click on it, and after that simply we have to start workflow model. We already have. Now time is to take the payload. Select the payload whatever you want. So here in this case, this is my site. Inside this site, here I have performed to this particular page, and I just simply clicked OK. Okay, so what it has happened, it has created a version. Okay, because all this logic where we have defined it inside this create version. Now when you will come here, try to refresh it. Now this is the node 1, right? This is what? This is the node 1. Here we have a title we have defined, and the descriptions, and this one is the metadata. Now here we need to know, like you guys are thinking from where the logic it is coming, right? Like where we have defined here, if you configure it, so we are seeing only this common and the argument. In the argument also we don't have anything. So from where it is coming? So here we have options of this process, right? And inside that, here we have one class, and inside this class only they have defined all the logic. Got it? All this logic they have defined inside this class. Okay, so that's why it is coming, and you have to simply sync it. Okay, done. Now we'll see how we can do the same thing by using a launcher. Here we have options of the launcher. You will see somewhere. Okay, after that you just simply have to create, and here we have to add the launcher. Okay, so first thing it is asking the event type. First thing it is asking the event type. That means, so basically to whom you want to perform, to the CQ page. You can perform anywhere, wherever you want. Okay, so here we have an event. When user will create the page, that time if you want to perform, then you have to click on this created. If user is trying to modify something, okay, page we have, user is going inside the properties and just trying to modify it. Okay, after that here we have a remove. So if user has removing something, okay, like page it has removing, then this operation will perform, right? So in this case we are just creating. Okay, I said like when someone will try to create, that time I just simply want to perform my workflow model. Okay, so here we have to select the type, like to whom you are performing, for what you are defining. Okay, so here somewhere we have a CQ page. Yeah, this one. Okay, you can perform to your CQ component as well, is up to you. So here I have defined the CQ page, and after that here right now we are in the author mode, so you have to select this one. And here we have a workflow model. This is important. So like what you want to execute, your workflow model only, no? So select your own page version creation. So this is the thing we have selected. After the description, and here we have to activate. This is an important, we have to activate. Like we are creating a workflow and we are just making that workflow disable mode. Okay, you are putting that workflow in the disable mode. This is not a good. Okay, sometimes what it has happened, why this options they have given, because of sometimes not every time we want to execute. Okay, sometimes we want to be a disable, so you can just simply come and disable this. Okay, and after that this is the last where it is path. Path is nothing but your payload. Okay, so you can just simply browse it and just select. So when someone try to create inside this search, okay, inside this search website someone try to create the page, that time this workflow will trigger, that time this workflow model will trigger. This is the workflow model will trigger when someone try to create the CQ page inside this location, okay, in the author mode, then only this will execute and it should be active. So it is active now. Create, right, it has created. Now just go inside this, here we have, close this, okay, here. Now refresh once and after that try to create there, come here and create a page, it may be anything. Here you can define en. Let's create. Okay, so here we have created. Now click here and try to see the timeline. Again, a few seconds ago, a version has created, right? It has created, no? Now just go inside the versions only, you will see the version has created. This one is a different. Here also we have created the version. So this version it has created 6 minutes ago. Okay, but for this now only we have created. So come here, see here. A few seconds ago only our version has created, right? Now go inside the content. That means launcher and so it has completed. Now time is to discuss about by using a API and the code. It's very easy. Only keep in mind we need only two things. What? Two things we need, know what? Exactly, workflow model and the payload. That's it. Here we have a servlet. Here we'll try to create a workflow class, and here you can mention the workflow servlet. Okay, so we have created. Now by using a servlet, I'm just telling like how we can launch it or trigger by using a API and the code. So for making a servlet we have to extend, right? Okay, so we have to extend here. You can extend anything, sling save method servlet or sling all method servlet. Okay, and just simply import that one. So we have imported. Now time is to register. We can register by using a components annotations. Otherwise this is a 1.2. Otherwise you can use directly annotations and you can register it. So here you have to mention here servlet. No, this is a servlet, so here you have to define service servlet dot class. That's it. And immediately you want to execute, so here you can define immediate is equals to true. Okay, after that this one is done. Now we have to import the servlet. We have imported. After that, yeah, here I'm just registering our servlet by using a 1.2 annotations. Okay, so here we have to define here sling servlet resource types, or you can just simply use sling servlet paths. Okay, and here you can define your paths. So what you want, so here I just want to define bean servlet example demo example servlet. You can just name it anything. Okay, so this one is done now. Now here you can define public void do get. So we need a method, no, for handling the request. Okay, so for taking a request and generating a response. So here it has two parameters, sling http servlet request. Here we have a request sling http servlet response. Here we have a response. That's it. Now time is to import this. Import this. Okay, we have imported. Now you can set the concept. That means, yeah, set the content type in which format you want the output. So we are saying like we need output in the form of text and plain, like that only, no, text plain or plain text, we'll see. That's okay. Then this one, after that what's our goal? we want to use the workflow. We want to run the workflow by using a API. Okay. So firstly, why I'm just using this servlet, because of it has a request. Okay. Now I just want to use this workflow session. Here we have one class, that is workflow session, and this is an important class. This is an important. Inside this class only, we have a get the model, get workflow model. This method we have. So we want a model, no? After that, what we need? We need a payload. Okay, new metadata, new meta, yeah, new metadata. This method also we have, but all this method where we have inside this workflow session. But you cannot get this workflow session directly. Before that, we have to get the permission. Okay, so we need a resource resolver, right? So how we can get the resource resolver? Request dot get resource resolver. Get resource resolver. We got the resource resolver. Okay, here we got the object of the resource resolver. You can just mention the resolver. Okay, so we have defined the resolver. Now here you can simply use resolver dot adapt to. Now this is the resource. You can just simply from this resource only you can get the workflow session, right? So copy this workflow session, come here and just simply paste it dot class. That's it. So what we have done here is, from the resolver we got the permission, and from this permission we have converted into an workflow session. Now whatever you will define inside this workflow session, you will get that object. Except it, here is we have a workflow session, right? Now we have to take this get the model. We have to get the model, right? How we can get the model? Now here we have a workflow session. Inside that only we have everything. Get the model, just mention it. Get the model. If you need one or you need a more than one, you have to mention. Get the models you have to define for more than one. So we need only one. Now come in the crxd. Where is our model? This one, right? Copy this, come here, and just simply in the double quotes we have to paste it. Now we got the workflow model, so we have to accept it. It will return the object, that is workflow model. So this is the model, we got it. Now what we have to do after that? Workflow model we got it. The second thing, payload. Now we need a payload. So how we can get the payload? Same thing. Here we have workflow session dot new workflow data. So it will give you the payload, right? Remove this, and after that here you have to mention this is a JCR path only. This is what? JCR path. So for that you have to mention the key as a JCR path, and here you have to mention the path. You just simply have to mention the where you want to perform. So we just simply want to perform inside any content you can take. This is a content. Here we have, what is this? Search. Here we have a US. Here we want to perform. Just save it. Done. Now we got it. This one also we got it. Now it will return the object. Which object? New workflow data. That means workflow data we got it. This is the payload we got. Okay, so you can define here payload. Right. Now everything is done. Now we have to start the workflow. Maybe sometimes you want to pass some additional information or some, that is nothing but the metadata, some information we have to your particular workflow, right? In the workflow we have a title, description, or some of the customized information we have. If you want to get it, for that they have a metadata, right? But we will not discuss now. Now we just simply have to start the workflow, right? Here you can simply use the try, and here we will use the catch, exception E, and here we'll mention simply. Okay, so before that we'll start it. Before that we'll simply start our workflow, right? So how we can start the workflow? Again, workflow session dot start the workflow, and here we have to mention model and the payload. That's it. We have start our workflow. Okay, if you want to take any, or if you want to see the status it is running or not, then you can simply use the status here. Okay, Okay. After that, here you can simply use status, and here you can pass the get the state. So state, that means it is executing or not. It is in runnable state, or it is in running state, or it is in delay state. We will see. We will check. So we have defined this. After that, we just simply print the output. So response dot get writer. Here we have a write, and we'll mention it. We'll mention workflow. Yeah, executed successfully. Yeah, otherwise you can directly print the status. Okay, you can simply print that status, not a matter. Okay, what it is saying? It's saying like it won't accept. Instead of that, we have to use a plus, then maybe it will take. Okay, but it has integrating, it's useless. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Otherwise, what we will say? We'll say is like response dot get writer dot write, and here we will mention workflow failed, failed to execute. Workflow failed to execute. That's it. Again, it has returning one exception. Again, we have to handle inside that only. Again, we have to use the try and the catch, right? Exception dot e, and here we will mention e dot print structures. Why we are getting? Okay, now try to deploy it. Now, how we can deploy this code? So this one is our project where it is here. Such project. Here we have a core. Inside this core we have defined. Now you just simply have to execute this. So maven clean install p auto install push at single package. Okay, that's nice. Bundle we have to use. Okay, did you understand or can I explain once? Can I explain? Okay, we have to wait. So the same process it will shows like this. See here what we have done the same way. You have to go inside this and you have to check. Like in this case we have performed here. No, you have to click on this and inside the timeline and you have to go inside the version